Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wabihi nasta'in ala umurid dunya waddin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina wa Maulana Muhammad amma ba'd. Dear Halim Ulama, Your Excellency, the judges of this speech contest, respectable, my beloved lecturers and the committee of this speech contest, and I don't forget to all of my beloved brothers and sisters in happiness. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful, praise be to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the world. Salawat and salam always presented to our great prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided and saved human life from destruction, namely Islamic religion. On this glorious occasion, please allow me to deliver my speech entitled The Impact of the Russian Invasion on Human Rights. Honorable judges, dear brothers and sisters in happiness, the Russian invasion of the 2014 attempt to capture the Crimean Peninsula and encourage uprising led by pro-Russian separatists in the eastern Donbas region. This incident has caused as many 14,000 people to date, and the question is, why did Russia decide to invade Ukraine? Because the Russian President Vladimir Putin wanted to strengthen his influence in Ukraine. Ukraine used to have a pro-Russian president, Viktor Yanukovych. Under his leadership, it turned out that the people of Ukraine themselves were disgusted because at the time of President Viktor's tenure, there were many corruption cases. He also ignored trade treaties with the European Union and was closer to Russia. So, he was deposed as president. From this came President Putin's anger, as he lost influence in Ukraine, and invasion attacks began. From the annexation of the Crimean Peninsula, arming separatist groups to seize the province of Donetsk and Luhansk to the present time a direct Russian invasion. Honorable judges, dear brothers and sisters in happiness, the situation showed that the persecution of the civilians living in settlements that were not a military base either of the Ukrainian military and of the pro-Russian militia, who should have been protected or have not been evacuated from the battlefield locations, leaving many victims of such heavy weapons attacks as rockets, artillery bombs, mortars, tanks, and others. The formation of this region was primarily intended to provide protection to civilians vulnerable to the effects of war, those who were injured and sick, weak, pregnant or nursing women, those with young children, the elderly, and the children. Shamdasani said the Human Rights Office was also interrupted by some arbitrary arrest of protesters in Russia, who protested the war last Thursday, and here that more than 1,800 demonstrators were arrested. To arrest individuals for exercising their right to freedom of expression or peacefully gathering in arbitrary deprivation of freedom, we ask the authorities to ensure the immediate release of all who are detained arbitrarily for the exercise of this right. He stated. A representative of the UN Refugee Agency, Shabia Mantu, said the UNHCR has heard that 1,100 people have had to leave their homes since the Russian launched an intervention on Thursday. Up to 4 million people can escape from Ukraine if the situation escalates, says Malik. With the withdrawal of Russian troops in a number of places, photos of the bodies of civilians in Buchan and others near Kyiv have been among the most shocking events of the Russian attacks. Germany denounced and called it a heinous war crime. French President Emmanuel Macron called the pictures irresistible. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson called it aggravated assault and evidence of war crimes. The United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken described the bodies in the street as something that causes anger. Honorable Judges, dear brothers and sisters in happiness, simply put, the cause of the Russian invasion of Ukraine was interest of military influence. The end of the invasion, there are many adverse events on the world. Thus, the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine must be quickly resolved. It is not to bring dominoes deteriorating and erratic event. Honorable Judges, because of limitation time, I'd like to say sorry if I make a mistake. Thank you for your attention. Let me say, Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.